You there, Abster?
What's up?
It's taking longer for Abby to react.
Hey! There's nothing to worry about. I'm just a little beat, that's all. Oh! Earlier, when I was half asleep, I came up with this great idea for finding the Sentinel.
Let's hear it.
Didn't the Sentinel say they're locked up in some kind of tower in the sky? Well, how about I just fly up there and look for it? Easy as pie.
The tower is either too far to see, or it's totally covered by clouds. Otherwise, we would have seen some sign of it on the ground. In the shape you're in, are you sure you could fly that far?
Hey, come on! It won't hurt to try. The cliff at Egla Town would be a perfect launch pad.
Music itself holds no emotion. It's the heart that grants it meaning. So, dear listener, tell me, what feelings did my piece evoke in you? Wow. A very valuable insight. Thank you. That brings me closer to completing my piece. Salutations, Rover. My name is Dracona, a wandering bard. I'm glad to have met you. I was sent by Lady Carlotta to find you. As I passed that abandoned house, I suddenly felt this, well, you know, rush of inspiration that just can't be ignored. So I stopped to compose a piece. Surprise, surprise, the melody led me right to you. Well, I suppose this won't count as me getting distracted, right?
If Carlotta asked you to find me, has something happened?
Lady Carlotta told me you encountered the supposed martyred maiden, Cartithia. She dispatched search teams soon after, but there's been no sign of Cartithia since. That's why she asked me to use my forte to recreate the frequency you experienced at the time, to see if any details you might have missed become clearer.
Recreate the frequency?
Well, Elite. Can you tell me about your meeting with Cartithia? The more details, the better. Even the smallest things count. Let's see here. Tweak a few notes here. Some emotions there. Textures. That should do it. Now then, Rover. Time for you to tune in to your memories.
Tune in to my memories. Does that mean I'm supposed to see the past from another perspective?
Laureate. Our tacit marks are glowing again. It appears there is a special connection between them. What is the meaning of this?
Someone used their resonance ability to help me relive this moment. But this seems unexpected.
How did you first come to notice me?
The Sentinel. Imperator's voice guided me to you.
You heard the Sentinel's voice? Then tell me, am I their resonator?
Well, Imperator called you the Lost, and Primus Fenrico claims you are the resonator for Leviathan, the Threnodian. But you really don't have any idea?
I've actually been searching for the answer to this question too. My memories are fragmented. I remember becoming a resonator, and the moment I was given the name Fleur-de-Lis. I also remember fighting something, but the details and the outcome of that battle are lost to me. You seem deeply concerned about the Sentinel. Tell me, why is that?
You rang? Whoa! Check it out! Our frequencies got split apart. Basically, we're sorta in that hover mode you once joked about. Nothing new to me, though.
This must be the frequency that's entangled within you. Is it some kind of echo? Yes, I'm experiencing a similar kind of frequency split. Though there is little that remains of my resonance powers. I feel its frequency weakening. I understand why you're eager to find the Sentinel. You said you heard the Sentinel's voice. Was there anything else they said?
They spoke of being ensnared in an inverted tower suspended in the sky.
Ensnared? Does that mean behind the seals there's... I'm sure you've noticed that I was drawn here only as a frequency. My true form currently resides inside an inverted sonorosphere, suspended high in the sky. At its center stands a tower, its gate locked by 3 seals. I've sensed a voice calling out to me from behind them. Could it be the Sentinel?
Say, it's really faint, so I barely noticed earlier. Is that a Threnodian smell I'm getting from you?
The scent of a Threnodian. You can perceive the Threnodian.
It's not an exact one-to-one with that big Ovathraxula meatball I had. But I never mix up a flavor I've already tasted.
Abby has a nose for these sort of things. We came across Threnodian powers before in Jinzhou. So, it's safe to say Abby can be trusted.
Do you think I'm the Threnodian's resonator?
If we're making assumptions, let's err on the optimistic side first. Given your current situation, it is possible you were affected by the Threnodian's powers during your battle alongside Imperator. That could be the reason behind losing all your power, too.
I take it this theory would benefit you as well. After all, that unique echo of yours needs the Sentinel's powers for treatment, does it not? Even in adventure tales, it's not always the witch who loses her memory. It could also be a blessed maiden, trying to regain her powers. In that case, it appears we share the same goal of finding the Sentinel. Spending so much time alone in the sonorosphere gave me plenty of time to consider countless possibilities. I've braced myself for whatever may come until I find the answers I'm seeking.
I want to know what's going on with Imperator in that tower. And I want to speak with you in person. How can I reach your sonorosphere?
A part of the sonorosphere is actually on land, though its outer perimeter is surrounded by a barrier. I cannot leave, and no one can enter. I'm afraid that won't do. That barrier also acts as the power source that maintains the sonorosphere's integrity. If it's destroyed, the entire sphere will collapse. And the ruins, along with the tacit discords it houses, would come crashing down on Raguna. It would be catastrophic.
You said no one can get in. Has anyone tried?
Yes. I've occasionally sensed someone wandering outside the barrier, as if searching for a way inside. Perhaps they know something.
Any distinguishing features?
Almost like a deep-sea jellyfish. I wasn't able to get a clear look. I can only describe the feeling I got from her as a resonator. It would seem this resonance ability can only last for so long.
I'll look for a way to find this person you mentioned.
Something tells me you will keep your promise. No matter the outcome, this may be my chance to find the answers I've been looking for.
Rover? Rover! Oh, thank goodness. You're finally awake. How are you feeling? Any headache, tingling feet, upset stomach? Phew. I tried everything, but you just wouldn't wake up. I thought you were... Wait a second. Did you actually fall asleep listening to my music? Oh. It kind of breaks my heart to know you reacted like that when it wasn't even a lullaby.
No, it was really helpful.
Helpful for your sleeping troubles, hmm? Wow. So my forte created a special connection that led to some unexpected developments. The girl, is she friend or foe? What truths lie behind the seal, and who is that mysterious wandering figure? I have a feeling this is going to be a very exciting song. I'll pass this information on to Lady Carlotta. So, what do you plan to do next?
Pardon the intrusion, my lord. My name is Sebastian. As per milady's instructions, I have been entrusted with the honor of inviting you to the Phasalia estate for a discussion.
The Phasalia family. The one that's likely worshipping the Thrnodian. Why does she want to talk with me?
Milady has expressed a desire to clear up some unfortunate misunderstandings that occurred previously.
Tell her I accept the invitation, but at a later time.
I will convey your message to Milady.
Didn't expect the head of the Phasalia family to come looking for you. Especially while they're still in the middle of negotiations with Lady Carlotta. She's just as unpredictable as the rumors say. I suppose you would want to know more about her before taking up her invitation, hmm? She's known to be a recluse, and rarely makes public appearances. No one outside the family even knows her real name. They just call her the head of the Phasalia family. I've heard quite a few rumors. Which one would you like to hear first? I have Shadow of the Ancient, Lady Bane, or maybe Entangler of Hearts? Hello, that's why they're called rumors. I'm just doing my due diligence by being faithful to the source material. So, ready to dive right in? Well, long story short, the Phasalia family was one of the first to set foot on these islands and establish order in Rinascita. Their lineage even predates the Order of the Deep, and their craft of extracting toxins from aquatic plants is a legacy passed down through generations. Word is, they select the new head of household by having candidates ingest each other's poisons and wait to see who's still breathing when it's all over. Stories about the current head of the Phasalias get even wilder. They say she didn't go through the usual selection process. Instead, she took the throne by poisoning her predecessor. Others say she's a master in the art of manipulation, drowning her victims in hallucinations until they agree to her terms without even realizing it. In any case, the Phasalia family aside, she's someone you definitely want to handle with care. If you're set on meeting her, I'd be extra careful if I were you.
The way she describes the head of Phasalia reminds me of how Cardathea spoke about the wandering figure by the barrier. I can't rule out the possibility that they're the same person. Looks like I'll need to pay her a visit. Wind, guide me.
Hello. I received Chacona's memo. To think the head of the Thessalians approached you when I was still in negotiations with her emissaries. Was it meant to be a diversion all along? They invited you and you alone. As a Montelli, I'm in no position to intervene. That being said, if the Thessalians try anything against you, I'll get you out. Even if it means storming through their front gates. In the meantime, I'll keep looking for more information and the person Cartathea mentioned to you. I'll call you as soon as I find anything.
Got it.
Now, if you'll please just follow me. One moment, please. I shall inform Milady of your arrival.
That won't be necessary. To keep our honored guest waiting would be most improper. Especially when it was I who extended the invitation. Cantarella Phasalia, 36th matriarch of the Phasalia family. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. Honorable Laureate, the new crown of the Carnival. Very well. If you insist, I see no reason to refuse. You may also call me Cantarella. Now, shall we proceed to my study? Won't you have a seat? I hope you'll accept this tea as my way of apologizing for the incident with Gilberto. Members of the family may have troubled you, but there is no stain that can't be washed away. Every sorrow has its own way of fading, don't you think? You still hold a grudge. Won't you accept my apology?
This tea, is it from Jinzhou?
I invited you here to ask that you might serve as a mediator.
Before we get into that, there's something I want to know.
I imagine it concerns the Phasalia family's true beliefs. It would seem Gilberto's mind is beyond saving. But let's not dwell on that. What is your opinion on the current state of Raguna? So you've noticed something is amiss? As expected, from someone who's felt the weight of a Threnodian invasion firsthand. And what exactly do you find most unsettling?
Why haven't the Thenodian and the Sentinel ever shown themselves?
Because the Threnodians' invasion of Raguna has long since concluded. The Threnodian, so named Leviathan, possesses the power to merge and assimilate. It uses distorted beliefs to spread a spiritual plague that slowly devours civilizations from within. Though the previous 2 attempts were thwarted, the tall mast of the galleon that is Raguna has already been snapped in half. Now the blissfully ignorant masses walk hand in hand toward an abyss they cannot see. Friend or foe? As a newcomer to this land, can you really tell them apart? Yes. And no. On one hand, there's the truth of the Order's beliefs. On the other, there's our family. The Threnodian doesn't take kindly to those who know the truth. We've always been under its whispers. Once the soul fractures, the mind will follow, until only a puppet remains. Now that we've come this far, there's nothing for me to hide. My only hope is that once you learn everything, you will carefully consider my request. Come. The truth you seek lies in the deepest part of the castle.
It's thick with dust. Hard to believe they're truly worshipping it.
Curious about that statue. It represents the unbroken friendship between the Phasaelius and the Order. But in the eyes of outsiders, it is more a symbol of defeat and submission.
The aroma from these plants. It's the same scent that was in the study.
This is it. Are you prepared?
Yes.
Now that we're here, I'm afraid I can't let you leave. Even if you want to. Just as I expected. The Threnodian took notice of you the moment you learned the truth. What you see in the sanctuary is the Sentinel in their true form. A majestic steed that galloped with the wind, not a creature of the ocean's depths. The Order worships a half-horse, half-sea creature divinity, a form the Sentinel assumed only after being corrupted by the Threnodian. Although the Sentinel's will has yet to fade, who knows how much longer they can endure. I wish to ask you to persuade the Sentinel of Jinzhou, Jue, to come to Rinascita, to save Imperator. In return, I will agree to whatever condition or request you make. I understand the position you are in. Word has it that you're currently staying at a hotel and are at odds with the Order. Perhaps a stay at my estate would suit you for the remainder of your time in Rinascita. I can offer you a glimpse into Rinascita's past, and you'd be spared the Order's unwelcome attention.
There might still be a path forward. Carlotta once helped me interpret some stained glass images. The story it told was very similar to what you've described, only more biased towards the Order. It mentioned a Maiden who would emerge as the Sentinel's resonator and later save Rinascita. Do you think that's also a lie?
Care to elaborate? The part regarding the Maiden isn't entirely fiction. The Sentinel does indeed appoint a Maiden to be their resonator, though not in the way the Carnival would have you believe. No. It's through resonance with a very particular artifact. That's because Imperator wields the power to split and manipulate space. With it, they can withdraw a portion of power. That power's frequency will match the Imperator's own. This is how the Sword of Divinity, Turvin, came to be. A blade sealed with the very powers of the Sentinel, and the artifact used to select their resonator. To resonate with the sword is to resonate with the Sentinel. Only the Chosen One may hope to draw it.
Then, what about Cardothea?
The martyred maiden. The nature of her resonance is unclear to me. Perhaps she resonated with the Threnodian, or perhaps with the Sentinel in its corrupted form. But choosing her could not have been the Sentinel's will. That's because the Maiden was already dead. In the past, each year the Phasalia family would hold the Divine Trials to select those with the strongest will. These young women would attempt to resonate with Turvin's powers. While overclocked, of course. Though none succeeded, some saw fragments of the truth hidden within the resonance. I was one of them. There was a moment where I glimpsed the Sentinel's corrupted form and the inverted ruins suspended in the sky. I also learned that only Turvin can break the barrier of that sonorosphere. When I awoke from that vision, I discovered a line of words inscribed onto my hand. I would never mistake my own handwriting. That is precisely why I'm searching for other possibilities. The words were, "The Maiden is dead."
An inverted ruin suspended in the sky. Her and Cardathia's descriptions bear many similarities. If Turvin is the key to entering the sonorosphere, it stands to reason that Imperator may have played a role in the sphere's creation. If I can confirm that Turvin was truly left by Imperator, at least it would prove that neither are lying. Cantarella said she was overclocking when she tried resonating with Turvin. That's exactly what happened with Jinchi. Could Imperator be trying to restore their power through a second awakening? If that's the case, my permission should cause a reaction. That's one way to confirm what they're saying.
By all means. Rover, who are you really? No, you're likely a far more special entity.
Well, I have some information and theories of my own. Care to hear them?
Please, enlighten me. I would never have imagined someone already considered a martyr could still be alive. What surprises me even more is the connection you have with the Sentinel. We Thessalians revere Imperator as our one true divinity. And yet, here you stand, the arbiter of the Sentinel. Would it be more fitting to address you as Master? Then, I present my request once more. Are you willing to help rescue our Sentinel and pull Rinascita back from the brink of chaos? Turvin can only serve its purpose while in your hands. You should have it.
The only question now is how we reach Cardathia and Imperator's sonorosphere.
We can discuss it on the way.
So you're the one that Cardathia sensed wandering outside the sonorosphere?
A question that you already know the answer to. Why bother asking? Although being described as a jellyfish. There is a cable car in the lower levels of the Phasalia estate that leads directly to the Sonorosphere. The mechanism beside that wall can activate the lifts.
Are all these mechanisms really necessary?
Convenience isn't the only reason for having them. Some were specifically built in case an outsider decided to visit.
I will be there for everyone, as we head toward our shared future, leaving the past behind. Why do the Phasalias have a cable car that leads directly to the Sonorosphere?
Before it became a Sonorosphere, it was a seminary known as the Avenolium. The martyred Maiden once pursued her studies there. A superficial harmony needed to be maintained between the Phasalias and the Order, and this underground cable car was intended to send scions of the family to school. The elevator is merely a later addition I had built for easy access. You seem perturbed. Are you still gathering your thoughts?
Everything that's happened has all lined up so perfectly. It makes me think it's too good to be true.
I'd like to share a different perspective. Rivers eventually converge into the same ocean. If a goal is mutual, then it's only a matter of time before they meet. Our choices and our will have led us to this situation, not the wishes of fate.
You are quite different from what the rumors say.
Oh. And what rumors have you heard?
That you're a recluse, a mystic, obsessed with the crafting of poison. Oh, and that you poisoned your predecessor? Those kinds of rumors.
A recluse? On the contrary, I've been searching for a solution to the Sentinel's plight, and rarely return to Rinascita. After most of my leads fell short, a friend at Mingting in Huanglong introduced me to the stories they were telling of you.
A friend?
All the affairs of Huanglong states eventually land in one person's hands. Would you care to take a guess at the identity of this friend of mine?
Why not put the other rumors to rest?
Because the rest of them are all true. I see it'll take more than that to rattle you, huh? I assure you, this is no jest. We Thessalians have lived under the Threnodians' whispers for generations. Once the soul fractures, the mind will follow, until only a puppet remains. When the soul of the ruling head falters, Thessalia tradition dictates that the successor usher them into eternal slumber, with a poison of their own making. My succession ritual, well, an unforeseen incident gave rise to whispers that sparked those rumors.
How long has this been going on?
For centuries. Every generation. Outside, they call me the Bane, but historically every head of the Thessalia family has carried such a title. It just so happens that I am the most potent one yet. We've reached the old seminary's undercrypt. The gateway into the Sonorosphere itself lies at its center. We shall continue on foot from here. Oh, this will be fun. Hey. Strange. Why not say that? Could they have come from the Sonorosphere itself? Sleep in the whispers of silence. Fall from the abyss.
I didn't think there would be gold puffs here.
Interesting. I've never seen such little creatures before. Would you mind sparing me occasionally?
I'd better not ask what you do.
The raid ahead will not be an easy one.
What exactly happened here?
The second Dark Tide. It occurred right here at the Avenolium, the largest seminary ever built by the Order. It arrived on the very day the Blessed Maiden passed her trial and was found by the Order. The day when the leaf burned bright. And when the darkness came, none escaped. These days, what most people remember is the seminary disappearing into the sky. But in truth, the dark tide that should have spread across Rinascita vanished along with it. Yet due to a lack of records, the second dark tide slowly faded from memory. I was there when it all happened, still an ordinary member of the family, watching it unfold from a boat just outside the seminary. It wasn't until later, when I attempted to resonate with Fairview, that I gained a partial glimpse of the Sonorosphere's interior.
It sounds like someone inside the seminary did something to stop the spread.
Precisely. It could very well have been Cartathea's doing, but, as with the first time, there's also the chance it was the Sentinel who turned the tide. I can sense the conflict within you, the temptation to trust your maiden. But it's best to keep those thoughts to yourself for now. The gateway into the Sonorosphere is just on the other side of this bridge. This is the furthest I've ever managed to venture. Judging from the bits of information the Sentinel gave me, Tervin is the key to entering the Sonorosphere. And who can wield the Sword of Divinity but a Blessed Maiden?
But you said you left yourself a message saying that the Maiden was dead.
That's why I sought aid from the other Sentinels. It's a shame they all refused. Luckily,
Laureate, you have come. Greetings. I'm Cartathea, and you are?
Cantarella Phasalia.
Oh, a Phasalia. It seems your ties with the Order are more complicated than they appear.
I had the privilege of watching the Blessed Maiden's performance at the Carnival once. I'm rather surprised. After all this time, you still look exactly as you did that day. But you and I should be around the same age.
I'm also unsure of what's happened to me. I've been searching for answers. This must be the Sword of Divinity. Tervin. The one with the Sentinel's powers sealed within.
You shouldn't have knowledge of this sword.
Memories flowed into my mind just as you entered the Sonorosphere, granting me information about the sword's origins.
Cantarella said that only those who resonate with Tervin are granted glimpses of its knowledge.
Would you mind if I tried touching it? The question of whose resonator I am is now perfectly clear. If I am not the Sentinel's resonator, then that must mean...
Don't jump to conclusions just yet. That doesn't prove you're the Thermodian's resonator, nor that you aid its cause.
Huh? This connection formed between the Sentinel and the Thermodian, the second Dark Tide, and the forming of this sonorosphere.
Right now, you're the sole survivor of whatever happened that day. You really don't remember anything?
As you spoke, I remembered a few more things. There are 2 other swords. The Sword of Discord, Hognis, and the Sword of Virtue, Haltia. Yes. Did you see them too? Placing the 3 swords on their respective pedestals should break the seal over the main tower. But why would this information be revealed to me now? Is this the Thermodian's doing?
If we do nothing, we'll never get any answers. Instead of speculating, we should use the clues we've gathered so far.
Lady Maiden,
Please, Cartathea would suffice. I am but a fake after all.
I've waited for this moment. This chance to save the Sentinel. And my family. I will not turn back, even if this does turn out to be a trap. If the thought of the final answer troubles you, then I suggest you step aside. Rover and I will take care of this matter.
Since you are willing to overlook the possibilities of a trap, then there's no reason for me to worry and turn away. I underestimated your resolve. I'm sorry. Simply place Turvin on the pedestal behind me, and this tower will elevate itself.
What you said to Cartathea back there.
Rather effective on someone of her personality. Wouldn't you agree?
all right. The gravity that occupies this space is the opposite of what you're used to. It took me some time to get used to it too. I believe it's to prevent them from falling to the ground. Tacit discords, the Dark Tide, and these ruins themselves.
I imagine it's also a symbolic reminder that our beliefs have been turned on their head. This view matches with what I saw at the time.
Until you get used to the gravity here, I suggest we travel via phone. It's the name I gave to a gondola.
This gondola only has 2 seats.
Oh dear, I completely forgot about this.
Greed will get you punished, you know.
I'm afraid Foam would refuse that suggestion.
The 2 of you can go on ahead.
You look distracted. Still thinking about what Cantarella said about fearing answers.
My powers are very weak, and many tacit discords roam the sonorosphere. Thus, I've been limited in the areas I can explore. All I can do is sit here, lost in thought, trying to figure out who I am.
Are you afraid?
We'll be arriving at the first water rise soon. A few details, if you don't mind.
Feeling nervous?
Of course. The last time I tried to pass it like this... Where were my manners? I can assure you that won't happen again. As for the rest of the way, I see it clearly now. Vines, over there. And that statue.
I can feel strong remnant energy coming from it.
The Order's remnant spark must be inside the statue. Legends speak of how the first Primus used it to purify the first Dark Tide. I see now. The lingering remnants of the Dark Tide must be trapping the spark. To release it, we'll need to clear away the remaining remnants binding it. Once we have the remnant spark, we can use it to burn through the vines.
If the Thenodian created the Dark Tide, maybe Abby can absorb it.
Abby is still unwell. Perhaps we shouldn't burden it further. More Dark Tide remnants. Good thing there isn't much. Leave it to me. Don't worry. This much I can still handle. The vines are remnants of the Dark Tide. Foam won't be able to cross through them. Let's disembark here and find a way to clear the path.
Tonight, all the riddles are solved. Behold, the elixir of resurrection.
This calibrator seems to be operational. One moment. That should do it. Why don't you give it a try?
You are back.
What a night to remember.
Leave it to me. Strike from the shadows. Hopefully this helps. No hesitation. The end has come. Sounds come forth. Hopefully this helps. Cherish every gain.
It's turning. Rotate the gravity calibrator to change the direction of the gravity's pull. If we use this, we should be able to reach areas we previously couldn't.
Leave it to me. Disperse. Hopefully this helps. The hour is upon us. I sense your weakness.
Hurry. We need to purify the other statues before the Dark Tide's corruption returns. Sounds like Foam's getting impatient. Let's head back.
Did you feel any discomfort while we were clearing out the remnants?
Nothing out of the ordinary. I felt fine. I suppose this alone is not enough to determine whose resonator I am.
Yeah, you've helped a lot. Don't worry about that for now. Another water ice is coming up. You planning to hold on to something?
Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Remnants of the past. By the way, you said the inverted gravity is to stop the dark tide from descending into the city. But all we've seen so far are just its remnants.
And that's because this very waterway we're sailing on used to be the Dark Tide itself. In these waters, gravity isn't the only thing that's inverted. Its very essence is too. Obstacles ahead. Let's get off here. There it is, up there. But judging by the distance, we'd be hard-pressed to make it back in time.
Can you use your ability from somewhere in between to clear them all at once?
I might not have that range. But there may be tacitite devices nearby that can help amplify my forte. Let's see if we can find one. That's it. A tacitite device.
Leave it to me. Hopefully this helps. Disperse. Strike from the shadows.
This should do the trick.
Sounds. Hopefully this helps. The end. Come. No hesitation. Break. Hopefully this helps. Sounds come forth. I sense your weakness. You okay?
Just catching my breath. You go get the remnant spark.
Wind, guide me.
Up ahead is the Tower of Salvation. That's where the first pedestal is located.
Tower of Salvation.
Yes, a name taken from the Order's Codex.
Cherish every gain.
I'd rather know I'm a villain than remain a wanderer, lost in a world without understanding. to live with no memory of the past? Would it be so different from choosing to end it all? I must find the answer. Only then will I know how to face the memories I still carry. As for you, if I really am...
I can take care of myself. If it comes to that, I'll still remember the girl who...
I should go back for Cantarella. Will you wait here for us?
Of course.
I hope you won't mind the extra trip, phone.
I saw signs of battle along the way. Is anyone injured? You're not hiding anything from me, are you?
Your smile is rather concerning.
Oh, I insist. Here, take this. There's no knowing what will happen once Tervin is placed on the pedestal. Best we prepare ourselves.
No longer shall you bear these thorns as a reminder. Forged from primordial seas, this crown shall grant a new identity. Fleur-de-Lis, child of Divinity, the Immaculate One, will you uphold the sacred teachings of the Order of the Deep?
I will.
Salvation, unity, ascension. Of these three doctrines, which do you choose?
I choose salvation. I wish to be the Master's blade, striking evil, upholding virtue, and offering salvation to those in peril.
In the name of Divinity, I bestow upon you this crown. May the blood of justice never run dry. Through this sacred rite, you become the bridge between the heavens and the living. From this day forward, you shall be the Master's sole receiver and herald. Rise, blessed Maiden, Fleur-de-Lis. None but the Master shall ever have the right to command you to bend the knee.
making random stuff in here. Ugh. Do you have any idea how messed up and humongous that frequency was? It's gonna give me indigestion! I should ask you that. What did you do just now, huh? I was dozing when BAM! Out of nowhere, a giant blue ball landed on top of me. It almost squished me.
I'm guessing putting Turvin on the pedestal had something to do with it?
Oh, hey! It smells just as unnatural as that big gigantor back in Jinjo.
The Sentinel of Jinjo. If what our little echo friend says is true, then the frequency that entered your tacit mark could be Imperator's powers.
Huh? But the Sentinel isn't even here.
The power to split and manipulate space.
It is reminiscent of the moment of Turvin's creation. Only this time the place of confinement has become your tacit mark.
Why would it do that?
I believe it was meant for the true Maiden. Under the right circumstances, the one to wield this sword and enter the Sonorosphere would be the Sentinel's resonator, the Blessed Maiden. The Sentinel entrusted their power to the Resonator so that she could lend assistance when the corruption of the Threnodian altered them. Quite logical, isn't it?
You don't seem too thrilled about it.
If Imperator set this in motion, then their original plan has already failed. Cardathea, that means your guidance holds the key now.
But
I believe in you. Is there anything else you remember?
I just remembered the day I was crowned by the Order, and the moment the dark tide descended upon us. Huh?
But I didn't see the dark tide.
That is all I can remember.
Is that what you saw?
You witnessed it as well, Cantarella.
No. I only saw fragmented, blurry images. They seemed to belong to other places within the Sonorosphere. I believe this is where we should rest. We'll wait until sunrise.
I'm gonna hit the sack as well. so cramped in here.
Now, what could you possibly want with me at a time like this?
Is it true that the Phasalia family was one of the factions that started the conflict in that stained glass?
The leader of one such faction, to be exact. That was a long time ago. After their defeat, the Union was disbanded under immense pressure, and the Phasalias gradually withdrew from the public eye.
Is this why you had no choice but to publicly change your beliefs?
No. The reasons for the Phasalia family relinquishing their pride and enduring disgrace are far more intricate than that.
What do you mean?
Long ago, Turvin was actually given to the Phasalia family by the first Primus, Napoli II. When the conflict had settled, he arranged a private meeting with the head of the family to reveal the truths behind the pilgrimage. He told the Phasalias that when he traveled through the first dark tide and reached its end, there was no sanctuary. The only voices he heard were not revelations from the Divinity, but the seductive whispers of the Threnodian, casting a lure for puppets to bite. As I told you before, Leviathan is a Threnodian who uses beliefs to spread a spiritual plague. You see, it requires a puppet to carry its voice. The Sentinel realized the Threnodian's plots, and thus the first Dark Tide was launched as a hasty reaping of Raguna and the Sentinel. To save Raguna from the grim fate brought by the Dark Tide, the Sentinel split a portion of their power and entrusted it to Napoli II. This power allowed him to imbue the echoes with the strength to repel the tacit discords and purify the Dark Tide.
And this power was released through the lantern depicted in the stained glass?
Yes. The other part was kept inside Turvin. It was in that very moment, when the Sentinel's power had been weakened, that the Threnodian corrupted and merged with their body, transforming the Sentinel into the form you see today.
If what you're saying is true, the first Primus should have been on Imperator's side. Did the spiritual plague you mentioned affect him?
Although the Primus's body remained whole, his soul was torn apart, caught in the ceaseless struggle between the Threnodian and the Sentinel. Within the body they now shared. The Sentinel's power failed to shield the Primus from the Threnodian's influence. As the two divinities vied for dominance, he succumbed to many misdeeds against his own people. In the end, during that private meeting, he confessed the truth to the head of the Phasalias and begged for release.
So that's why he passed so abruptly.
The Phasalia family was powerless against the Order at that time. Our only recourse was to submit to their cause and keep the secret locked away in our hearts, waiting for the right moment to act. Now, what could you possibly want with me at a time like this?
You were pretty harsh on Cardathia.
Before I learned of those record secrets, I had only seen her from afar, heard tales of her accomplishments. While I would be willing to believe she stands with humanity, the more I allow myself to cling to such thoughts, the more I must strip them away and think rationally. It's only then I can be certain these thoughts are my own, and not the whispers I hear in the dark. Now, what could you possibly want with me at a time like this? A trivial experiment. A test designed to find those with the strongest wills and force them into resonating with Turvin. Yet after trying for so long, All we got was the answer, the Maiden is dead.
I don't think she wants to continue this conversation. Better to stop pressing.
Now what could you possibly want with me at a time like this? Well, I don't intend to wait around either.
Are you going to search those areas we passed before? Alone?
The more clues, the better, don't you think? Oh, and take this. Afraid I've slipped something extra in? Or perhaps you're contemplating dinner with me.
I'm just curious why the matriarch of the Phasalia family packs her own food.
Food is always an easy target for those who find me less than pleasing.
You mean besides being squashed behind that blue thing? Yeah, I guess. Listen, I figured something out about that frequency. It's not a single frequency. It's like it's mixed up with something else. Or kinda like, a piece of cookie that's been crumbled in with everything else. Which is why it's so hard to get a good bite. To see if it was a threat. I can now say with certainty that it isn't. But since it's a crumbly mess, other than taking up space, it's pretty useless.
We might encounter something similar at the next two pedestals. Keep an eye on this for me, will you?
Will do. You can count on me, 100%.
I thought I'd slip away quietly and avoid any fuss. But now, here I am dealing with all of you. Since you're all here, how about... They're a lot feistier than before.
Need help?
Sink into the endless deep. Feel the tide pull. The sunken depths. Smother.
One with the sounds. You will obey!
Well, this is...
You're here for the Sentinel. Why would you leave now?
What I saw yesterday caught my attention. It may be tied to the Sentinel. And besides, I'd rather not spend the day twiddling my thumbs, seeing as your gondola only holds 2.
Are you sure you want to go alone?
Such concern for me. I do hope to see the fruits of your labor when I return. Mind if I take Turvin?
Go ahead. It's no use now that it's out of the pedestal. Its energy is gone.
It may still come in handy.
I'll add you in my terminal. Call me if you need help.
I just might ring you up once things are settled.
If only I could still fight.
Everyone's doing their part. Don't worry. Nobody's perfect. The waterway up ahead is completely blocked.
That garden once housed dragon echoes. Now there's nothing left but tacit discords. Hogness should be here somewhere. This is where the acolytes used to be tested. Perhaps that Steely over there has instructions on what to do.
You don't remember from your exams?
As the Blessed Maiden, I was exempt. Sounds like they're talking about one of the three major belief systems, the faith of unity. I don't remember the pieces being spread out like this. Maybe we could find a way to move them.
Let's give it a try. We still need to rebuild the waterway. There's no point in fighting Hogness if we can't repair the waterway. At that distance, we should take a wing ray. Hold on tight. Don't go falling off. Wind, guide me.
That one. It isn't supposed to be here. There's a gravity calibrator up ahead. Let's put it to good use. That's our goal, right there. But how do we move it?
Help me guide the wing ray to the top of the statue.
Of course. But what do you have in mind? Is this really okay?
Saves us the trouble of finding some trigger mechanism. Are these the so-called dragons?
Is that a problem?
Yeah, the last one was bigger.
Which last one?
Denim. Ever heard of it?
I'm used to writing. It's Hogness. There's a gravity calibrator behind the collapsed wall we just passed. We can use it to reorientate ourselves. The remnant spark should be able to incinerate the thorns on the left.
Remnants of the past. This is a testament to my connection with the world around me, and it's very much my companion now, bearing witness to everything I've experienced on this journey. An unexpected discovery. Wind, guide me. It's stuck on the pedestal.
The waterway is still incomplete. We have to look elsewhere.
The end has come.
It's identical to the last statue. Same as before. I'll handle it.
Leave it to me. No hesitation. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully this helps. I sense your weakness. Moment of resonance. No hesitate. Hopefully this helps. Don't push yourself too hard.
It's okay. I'm just doing my part.
This is a testament to my connection with the world around me, and it's very much my companion now, bearing witness to everything I've experienced on this journey. We're still missing an area. But where?
Over there.
That might be too high for the wing ray.
Same as before. I'll handle it. Just a bit more.
I'll handle this bit. You rest. You've done well. Let's see if I can get a feel for how strong the gravitational forces are.
All right.
Leave it to me. Hopefully this helps. Moment of resonance. No hesitation. The hour is upon us. Hopefully this helps. Wind, guide me. An unexpected discovery. Cardathea?
I'm ready.
Leave it to me. Sounds. Hopefully this helps. Disperse. The end has come. Break. Hopefully this helps. Strike from the shadows. I sense your weakness.
It's been a long time since I saw this place as it was meant to be. So beautiful. I had forgotten.
Do you want to stop for a while?
No. We have more important things to do.
Let's check back on Hogness now. Wind, guide me. Cherish every gain.
Let me remove the sword. At least you won't come to harm if it's a trap.
We'll do it together.
But
If it's a trap, we stand a better chance together.
no traps.
How does it feel to trust me?
It feels good. Why don't you call Foam over? Try whistling. Like this.
Here goes.
Foam heard you. Come on.
The way you were when you saw the plushy echo. It was unexpected. I think the martyrdom of the blessed fleur-de-lis needs a rewrite.
What's that?
A play about you, written by Cristoforo the playwright.
Oh. How did he portray me?
I would rather hear the joyous songs of the masses than any solemn hymn of remembrance. Perhaps the Sentinel feels the same.
I'd never say that.
In the end, no matter what anyone else says, as long as you stay true to yourself, everything will be all right. Doesn't matter if it's the Thenodian or the Sentinel. They don't get to change who you are.
What you said back there. Thank you.
voice, my resonator? Why dost thou persist? Why abandon thy oath? Why hinder the spread of my gospel?
You are a false divinity. Gehenna will reveal the truth.
Gehenna, the lone dragon to have escaped. The one blessed by the dark tide shall return to us. Continue thy disobedience at the risk of insanity. Look around. Thou hast none left. My most beloved resonator, why persist in the error of thy ways?
I will never forget my cause. If Divinity takes up arms against the innocent, I will raise my sword against Divinity. With the support and hope of countless souls, I stand before you. They fell, so I may rise! You saw that too? Gehenna, the one you mentioned earlier. What happened to him? I understand. Anna, Casitomo, Olnat, everyone. I am finally able to face all of you. I am not your enemy, and your sacrifices were not in vain.
Hey, Rover, just now there was...
Shh. Later. Someone needs a quiet moment.
Sorry you had to see me lose my composure. I found my true self again. It doesn't matter if I am indeed the Threnodian's resonator, because I know who to stand by and who to cut down. Some of my memories have returned, thanks to you and Cantarella.
Feeling better?
No, not yet. Not until we free the Sentinel and defeat the Threnodian. That is why we need to investigate the frequency you absorbed earlier.
Haha! My turn to shine. That blue thingy in your tacit mark totally tastes like Threnodian. Of course not. It reeks. Just the smell alone is enough. Like I said, it's mixed up with something. It's too tough to chew.
If the Sentinel splits their own energy to prepare the true Blessed Maiden, then why would they split off the Threnodian's energy and then channel it through Hobness to the person who unsealed the passage? Possibly, but the Threnodian's energy would damage the body of the Sentinel's resonator. You wouldn't be affected, since Abby resides within you. But surely, a second frequency would interfere with the resonance of the Sentinel's true Blessed Maiden.
The answers might lie in the other frequencies that got mixed in. The answer might lie behind the third sealed passageway. Cardathea is starting to make sense of things, but she'll need time to get her head straight. Same as before? We'll keep watch tonight and continue our journey tomorrow.
Of course. Is there anything you'd like to discuss? Dragon Tacet discords lived here long before the Rinascita settlers arrived. With time and patience, the Order tamed them into echoes. They are fiercely intelligent and have their own social order. Gehinnom was their king, and the only one we believed could lift the siege of the Dark Tide. We hoped he would bring us the truth, but it seems he failed. Is there anything you'd like to discuss? I am a resonator born of the merge between the Sentinel and Threnodian. So, whose resonator am I? Do I belong to the Threnodian? Or the Sentinel? What does it really feel like to be the Sentinel's resonator? Juhe's resonator sounds like a woman of strong resolve. I would like to meet her someday. Is there anything you'd like to discuss? I need to clear my mind. I won't let my feelings get in the way of our journey tomorrow. You should get some rest. But oh, how it brings back memories. This is Eggletown's speciality. Thank you. Just the sight of it is enough to make me smile.
You're not gonna eat it?
No, I can no longer taste anything. Nor do I need food to survive. How else would I have been able to last for so long in the Sonorosphere?
Good evening. How goes progress on your end? So, a portion of energy was split from the Threnodian.
Do you trust Gerthia now?
Rover, the soul is like a boiling cauldron. You may know the ingredients you add, but who can predict what will come of it? It might become an elixir, or perhaps a poison, or perhaps it will simply fizzle away into nothingness. I've watched it happen far too many times. One must never grow complacent.
So, any updates on your end?
I found several things which may tip the scales in our favor.
Such as...
It would take too long to explain. And you deserve your rest, don't you? I will be there when your journey ends. We will speak of it then.
What? My eyes are still peeled. Nope. Nada. Zilch. I can't shake the feeling that the two frequencies are somehow connected.
Imperator has the power to split energy, and Leviathan to merge and assimilate. So, the source of that connection might very well be Leviathan's powers at work.
Yeah, could be. Isn't there one last place to go? Who knows what you'll need to cram into your tacit mark next?
Is that Cardathea?
sorry I woke you.
Were you singing just then?
Yes, a farewell song from the people of Rinascita. We usually sing it when a friend is about to leave. During that battle, I never got to say goodbye or mourn their passing. And before my memories came back, I wasn't sure if I was worthy of paying them my respects. So now, even though I know these are just lingering frequencies, and they might not understand me, I want to say goodbye properly, and thank them. Do you think I'm fooling myself?
No. I'm sure they can feel what's in your heart. I'm not just saying that to comfort you. I believe it's possible. I once saw two friends, one who was already dead, reconcile with each other from within a sonorosphere. When frequencies are concentrated in one place, it's possible that the reverberations could still carry traces of human will.
Meaning?
They might still be able to hear and feel. Your voice, your goodbyes, your feelings. It could have reached them. After all, these frequencies are strong enough to manifest in the real world.
Really?
They haven't made a move against us. They must still remember you. Which means they can probably hear you too.
I'm glad. No. If they can still hear and feel, then the time for goodbyes hasn't come. I need to give them a real victory.
You can ease up a little. As long as their obsession holds and the sonorosphere stays intact, they won't vanish.
Bound by obsession, till relieved of duty.
Cardathia?
Nothing. Just a stray thought.
Hey, since we know you don't carry any blame, should I call you Cardathia or Fleur de Lis?
Cardathia. Yes. Cardathia will do. I want to stay here for a moment. Will you keep me company? Good morning.
Morning, Cardathia.
It's time to go. Today is the day we settle this.
Let's do it.
Phone was telling us to hurry up. I wonder how Cantarella's doing.
We can call her if you're worried.
Wait, I'm not ready yet.
Ever the early riser? Did you call to say good morning?
Good morning.
Ah, is something the matter, Cartathea?
I just wanted to know how you're doing.
Ah, so you do care. Good to know my efforts weren't wasted.
She hung up. Was that meant as encouragement?
Everyone shows kindness in their own way. Huh.
Over there. That's Haltier.
That painting.
Cadento!
He's not who you think he is. Break. Hopefully this helps. The end has come. I sense your weakness.
Let's finish rebuilding the waterway.
Identical to the last one. But we have to remove the shackles. Wind, guide me.
Bound by obsession, till relieved of duty. Oh, Cadento, won't you let go?
Moment of resonance. Strike from the shadows.
I'm going to break the chains.
Wait, I have an idea.
That is impressive.
Same as before.
Watch out!
Sounds come. Hopefully this helps. Only 2 left now. Leave is coming back faster each time. Hopefully this helps. I sense your moment of resonance. Strike from the shadows. Great, hopefully this helps. No hesitation. Leave it to me.
Watch out!
Disperse. Strike. The hour is upon us.
He's finally been freed.
There. Now I can smash that statue back in.
The morph painting over there should allow us to reach the highest point.
Did you know that echo well?
Cadanto was my first echo after I joined the Order. When I stood against the Threnodian, he took a mortal blow meant for me and fell to the dark tide. I never thought he'd come back as a tacit discord.
But he still recognized the sword and was still trying to protect it.
Haltia was my saber. I practiced with it often in sparring sessions with Cadanto. Looks like he's still trapped in the past, doesn't it? We must finish this and free Cadanto.
He's back again. I sense you. Hopefully this helps. The end has come. No hesitation. Strike from the shadows. Hopefully this helps. Moment of resonance. I sense your weakness.
Yeah, he's a tough cookie. I want to eat. Huh?
I'll handle this.
Please, allow him to fight at your side.
Fleur-de-Lis, wilt thou return to me?
Someone must expose your lies. As long as there is a sliver of hope, I will not give up.
Is that so? Then I shall reveal the truth. Fleur-de-Lis, why dost thou resonate with me?
What?
Why dost thou hear into the minds of the faithful? Why dost thou act as my oracle? All this, and yet thou dost not question.
Shut up!
The answer is this. Fleur-de-Lis, thou art my creation. I made thee. Thy life, thy hopes, thy will, thy past. All that thou art, I made whole. I made perfect. I fed upon the trust, adoration, and longing heaped upon thee by the masses. Thy resonance brought forth the second dark tide.
What? Those clashing frequencies just calm down. That feels way better.
Looks like Abby settled down. It seems we were both affected. I'm starting to remember everything, just like you sensed I would. The force that modulated the Sentinel and Threnodian's frequencies came from me. No, it wasn't what I originally intended. I think having you take it from here may be for the best. This crown, it turned into what it is after the Dark Tide came. This is what the Threnodian uses to control its resonator. When the Threnodian unleashed the second Dark Tide, I, as the Cartathea you see before you, split the part of myself that wished to live after seeing the corruption that stood before me. I chose to be broken from the very beginning to escape the Threnodian's inevitable grasp. You see, when I destroyed the Threnodian that had taken over the Sentinel's body, it immediately began to assimilate into Fleur-de-Lis, its resonator. She was the part of me that was left after I split myself. She retained the most power, and now hopes to one day destroy everything, even herself. The Threnodian's endless whispers and screeches are slowly chipping away at Fleur-de-Lis's resolve. That's why she had no choice but to split her power's frequencies, just to buy herself more time. But using such resonance abilities came at a cost. The split frequencies, they needed a vessel. We don't have much time left. So, you see, I have been instinctively searching for someone to wield that power. All that was given, possessed, or taken by the false divinity, I must pass to the one capable of resisting it. This is how I intend to lay the false divinity to rest. Not just its life, but its very existence for all time. Fleur-de-Lis, the part of me I left behind. The one that also contains the Threnodian. Bound by obsession, till relieved of duty. Today, the part of me that wishes to live on will vanish. Is it because my wish has finally been fulfilled? Will you accompany me one last time? Seems like I won't get a chance to apologize to Cantarella. Her preparations were futile. Please, tell her I'm sorry. This was where everything started. The origin of the second Dark Tide. I have one final request. Now that you have the power to split and merge energy, there is something only you can do. Please, use the connection I still share with Fleur-de-Lis to bring the last fragments of her tortured consciousness here. Then, with your power, remake us as one. And finally release us from this world. That way, the Threnodian will remain trapped forever in a lifeless shell, unable to return to this world. I have lived my life to the fullest. I would like the ones who are left to do so as well. Cartathea has had her wish fulfilled. Now, it's Fleur-de-Lis's turn. She seeks self-destruction to end the divinity, and with it, her torment. She has lost all hope and believes that no rescue is possible. Remaking us as one is the only way I can think of to fulfill her wish. Or rather, grant her what we wish. I was born to this world cursed. The Threnodian intended for me to live as a threat to others, but the puppet born of its wickedness will become the prison that seals its fate. I shall be whole again, true to myself at last. A fitting end, don't you think? I have reached my final destination. One last swan song, and then the lights go out.
I understand.
Thank you. And forgive me.
I can't hold it any longer!
Why? Why are you doing this? Neither Cartathea nor Fleur-de-Lis should continue to exist! Don't go.
I heard your request. But I prefer to handle this my way.
Not even whole, yet still ever so determined.
Cantarella.
Phone brought me here. I'd have shown myself earlier. but it didn't seem like the right time to interrupt. Looks like what I prepared could still be put to good use.
Turvin.
The Sentinel's Sword. It will help you resist the Threnodian's attack.
What's inside?
To pass the divine trials, every potential maiden must resonate with the Sentinel through Turvin. Those who survive receive fragments of truth, but at a cost. Memories lost in varying degrees. The lost memories fall into this sonorosphere, each carrying faint traces of the Sentinel's power, the power within those fragments of truth. Turvin absorbs this energy. The Sentinel's energy flows through you. You are more than worthy of wielding this sword. But you, Cartathea, you alone must choose to wield it. Only then will it become the Blessed Maiden's sword.
Does it also hold the sacrifice you made?
No, my sacrifice was used up long ago. At the time I resonated with the Sentinel, I saw you through their distorted eyes. Or rather, I saw Fleur-de-Lis battling the Threnodian. In that moment, I made a sacrifice that would shift the balance of power.
Was it?
The energy I received from the Sentinel's second awakening. I split it from myself and offered it back to the Sentinel so they could, for a moment, regain control of their body. Only by doing this could Fleur-de-Lis seize the moment to kill the already tainted Sentinel. So, the real Blessed Maiden is dead. But there is no reason why the false Blessed Maiden cannot herself become the true Blessed Maiden, is there? A person of true character should never be defined by an inanimate blade. Both you and I were cursed to be mere playthings of the Threnodian. But that doesn't mean we cannot reshape our fate.
Thank you. In spite of my curse, my life of hardship, I must still save what is true.
Had you not stopped the second dark tide? Well, it is we who should be thanking you. At least you can't accuse me of ingratitude. I just need a moment's rest. Apologies, but they're doing something rather important. Please? Do give them some privacy.
Abby?
Yeah, yep, I get it. We're gonna yoink Leviathan out. Huh? But all you have left is the energy I ate before. Are you sure that's enough?
Some things, you just gotta do.
Come to me, mighty god killer.
One with the sounds. Last chance. Shadow descends. One with the sound.
You would betray yourself.
No! This is not betrayal!
A person of true character should never be defined by an inanimate blade. Both you and I were cursed to be mere playthings of the Threnodian. But that doesn't mean we cannot reshape our fate.
In the end, no matter what anyone else says, as long as you stay true to yourself, everything will be all right.
This is me being true to myself.
Then I will walk down the glory path.
Imperators? No. Your own power? Useless.
As long as I can save the person in front of me, I am not useless. No retreat. At least break, damn it! I tried everything. How could this be? Again, I failed. I'm sorry.
Then I will walk down the slope in order and find his
This warm light must not fade. Take my power, my blessings, my past. Seek out a future where I am your blade. We'll find it together. Righteous one.
Swift and resolute. Swift and resolute.
Tempest of slashes.
Swift and resolute.
Wind calls, waves follow. Waves rise. Judgment strikes!
Swift and resolute. Hopefully the end has come.
Down with the curtain. Wind calls, waves follow. Wind howls. Unfettered by bounds! Wind rises.
One with the sounds.
None shall whisper.
Swift and resolute. The hour is upon us.
Wind calls, waves follow. The wicked will face judgment. Annihilation! Tempest of slash eye and the tempest!
Moment of resonance.
Seek out a future where I am your blade. We'll find it together.
The frequency in her body is already...
Arbiter, despair not, for all is not lost. Arbiter, forgive me for meeting thee in such a form.
Imperator, I thought you...
I safeguarded my core data, lest I be wholly assimilated. Arbiter, dost thou remember the covenant we made? Soon thou shalt recall all. Thou didst desire that I uncover the Threnodian's true nature. So, I set forth a condition. That my root privileges be unbound. That I might act without restriction.
With unrestricted access, you were going to...
Merge with Leviathan. A measure of last resort. At the time, I had no other recourse. So, I allowed it to believe it had prevailed. The Threnodian is a taint upon civilization. Only by partaking of its blight could I seek to comprehend it.
So? What did you learn?
The Threnodian cannot be undone while civilization endureth. Even it knows not the means of its own destruction. But we may yet shackle it.
What role does Cardathia play in this?
When Leviathan merged with me, it breached my mind. I offered knowledge of the Resonator, yet concealed one small truth. Beings such as we may bear but a single Resonator. The Threnodian used my return pod to conceive an entity known as Fleur de Lis, to make her its Resonator. After centuries of failure, by sheer trial, it found success but once. We were of one body. Therefore, when Fleur de Lis became Leviathan's Resonator, she also became mine. But mark this well. To the Sentinel, a Resonator is an anchor. To the Threnodian, they are but a shackle.
What made you decide to leave Turvin with the Thessalias?
When first I did merge with the Threnodian, I sought only but to bide, awaiting a Resonator of steadfast will to join me in the war against the Threnodian. After Fleur de Lis's conception, Cantarella became my safeguard. But had Fleur de Lis fallen to the Threnodian sway, as long as one mortal using Turvin passed the second awakening to become my own Resonator, then the law that no being shall bear more than one Resonator at a time wouldst have been shattered. This wouldst rend asunder the frequencies of I, Imperator, Leviathan, and Fleur de Lis in a tempest of chaos. And the Threnodian wouldst not escape destruction. Such was my intention. Yet Cantarella chose another way.
Not all journey toward a final destination. Some are destined to pave the way. Take my energy. I will find a way out myself. I trust this will serve to pave the way for you.
She forfeited all the power of the Second Awakening, surrendering it unto me. With that newfound power, I did briefly regain control, and in that moment, compelled Fleur de Lis to strike at my form as it was, corrupted by the Threnodian.
But that wasn't your original plan.
No. It was an unexpected variable. A plan I could not have conceived. Or rather, a plan born of hope. Perhaps this is the influence humanity has wrought upon me. To change is to be free. Fleur-de-Lis overcame the fate Leviathan ordained, and so too did Cantarella walk a path unscribed in my records. Though the journey was fraught with twists, we stand victorious.
I don't know if the end justifies the means.
Arbiter, was I wrong?
I can't speak for what I wasn't a part of. You did what you could in that moment. Anyone still standing because of it doesn't get to judge.
Arbiter, in the few moments we have left, might I speak with Fleur-de-Lis?
Call her Cardathea. That's what she wanted. How do you intend to bring her back?
Remnants of her frequency linger within thy tacit mark. So long as a conduit is established, her frequency shall be reborn into her body. Me. This dying breeze hath little time left. Let it guide her on its final journey. Arbiter, one question remains. Did I fulfill the charge set upon me? Arbiter, take these words to the Phasaelius. From this day forth, you are free. Cardathea, awaken.
You are...
I am Imperator, a being that owes you a great debt. I have a question I wish to ask thee. Dost thou rage at how life has unfolded? Dost thou renounce faith or hold resentment? If thou wishes to forget, I can erase the past from thy memory.
Such memories do bring me pain, but that is evidence of their truth. Without the truth, I would not have had the strength to carry on. The truth is a beacon in the maelstrom of my life, and I would rather suffer for it and rejoice in it than abandon it to blissful ignorance. I am true to myself. Please, don't make me forget who I am.
I have heard thy wish.
If I go, you will be one step closer to perfection.
No. If you do that, I wouldn't be me. To deny my own self and my experiences means any perfection I reach will be hollow. I would be heartless.
Thou hast need of divinity no longer. Though my power hath waned, I now offer thee my blessings. Let the winds of the past depart. The ships of this new era no longer need their guidance. Though the tide's rage is endless, humanity shall embark upon new voyages. No longer shall scroll and prophecy bind, but thy will shall forge a new era. Cartathea, thou art worthy to bear the title of Blessed Maiden.
Righteous one. I have never seen you look as gentle as you did during our fight.
Let me ask you this one more time. Should I call you Cartathea or Fleur de Lis?
I want to say that it doesn't matter. But since you first met me as Cartathea, that is who I shall be.
Very well. Cartathea.
I thought I saw the Sentinel just now. So where are they? What do we do now? I can't return to Raguna as Fleur de Lis, and I need not serve Divinity anymore. Who I was, and my past aspirations, are all gone. I feel empty. Not a bad idea. But right now, I don't want to think about anything. I'll stay here for a while longer. Is that all right?
The one who defies hath banished herself to the High Tower, cleansing the remnants of the Dark Tide. Yet, she knew not that the Dark Tide would never recede. She shall prove the most loyal servant to Divinity.
You are wrong! Humanity has its flaws, and you've exploited our weaknesses. But we shall not go down without a fight!
You are no longer whole! You are not the perfect creation I conceived! Be that as it may, how long shall thy resolve endure?
The righteous will always rise to defeat evil. I will defeat you, and await my own defeat. Whoever it is, the tide of resistance never ceases. false divinity. Suffer my disobedience!
I cannot fall now. No wall is impregnable. Humanity has its flaws, exploited by the Threnodian. But we shall not go down without a fight. Waves of resistance shall never cease. Mankind will not be oppressed by the Threnodian. Now, be free.
Light, come hither!
Make way for your destroyer. Come to me. Mighty God Killer. Righteous One, please keep what happened between us. Yes, I'm fine. I know what I want to do now. I want to surpass you. You're strong. Stronger than me. You could defy my wishes, ignore my pleas, defeat me, and in the end save me. But if one day you find yourself in a similar predicament to mine, who's going to save you? Your bond with the Sentinel is now a bond with me. You were their arbiter, and they were your helper. But I want to go beyond that. I want to be more than someone who works on trifles, like harmonizing the frequencies between you and Abby.
Hey, I'm more than a trifle. Wait, I didn't realize you're the reason I stopped feeling icky.
Should the day come when you find yourself in a similar predicament to mine, I'd need to defy your wishes, ignore your pleas, defeat you, and be your savior. If that were to ever happen, wouldn't I need great power to set you right? Just like how you set me right. Would you deny me the chance to return the favor? Then I shall not rest until I have surpassed you.
Right now, you're less a blessed maiden and more a steely knight.
Well, my one creed is to be true to myself. In that sense, I am rather headstrong. A knight. Yes, perhaps I'll be a knight-errant. That does sound appealing. But, truthfully, so much of this world feels unfamiliar to me now. Will you be there to guide me, should I need it? Then it is agreed. One last thing. You should speak with Cantarella. I can sense she made it out of the Sonorosphere safely. I'll go later.
I shouldn't put my guest on the spot. Moving on. How is Cartathea?
She needs time.
Understandable. Her transition back to mortal life is a drastic departure from her former existence. Now, I suppose I should thank you.
What's this?
Blood Pact's pledge. A symbol of the unbreakable pact between you and the Phasalia family. Each head of the family is entitled to one, and only one. You vanquished the Threnodian and brought peace at last to the Phasalias. You should have it. Consider this a token of gratitude.
Is that the only one?
You wish for more? Or is there something else you'd have me do? You ask that I step down. Only a Phasalia by blood is eligible to head the family. But I could make you a Phasalia consort. Is that a proposal? You missed your chance.
Before I forget, Imperator left a message.
Tell me. I'm ready.
From this day forth, you are free.
I'll remember that.
Will you tell the others?
I've spent so long preparing for this day. A few more will hardly make a difference.
I'll take my leave then.
More tea before you go.
I will be there for everyone, as we head toward our shared future, leaving the past behind.